So basically, whether in France or in Belgium, but mostly in Belgium, if you do not like French fries, you are not going to last long. Almost almost every meal they'll offer French fries with about everything. And especially in Belgium, they're very well known for their fries, so you have to at least try it one time. But you have to but if I was you, always ask the members because some of the fry places are not as good as others and they know where the best ones are. And you'll think you don't see a difference, but after you start eating it for a while and you go to a different place, you're like, yeah, I like the Belgian fries better. And yeah, then also just remember that for the most part, if you're American, Europeans will offer you Coca-Cola. That's almost inevitable. They see Americans as people who drink 2 liters every day. So yeah, you will have to get used to that. So French fries and Coca-Cola, learn to love them. In Belgium, just like in France, it depends on who you'll meet. Like some people will be excellent chefs, but usually if you do go eat a meal anywhere, usually with members, you'll have like a regular 3-course meal, salad, and then you'll have your main dish, and then you'll have your cheese dish, and then you'll have a dessert. So it sort of goes in that order. So it's really fun. So you'll almost always be full. If you're not full, then the members aren't feeding you enough, but you can't expect people to give you, well, in some places, yes. But in France, you'll think it's not a lot, but then once you actually start eating, you're like, okay, this is more than I can handle. Yeah, members there, they're like, I remember there was 3 pieces of chicken left, and everyone's at the table was like, I'm full, I'm full, I'm full, and they're like, okay, elders, this is all for you. My command looks like I can't eat it, I can't eat it. So I ended up eating everything. And in French culture, they actually kind of appreciate it if you do finish your meal. If you don't really finish it, it is kind of disrespectful, but if you tell them it's too much, for the most part, members will understand. But if you're to go like to a non-member's house and you do like eat their food, you eat it and you tell them that you love it, they will love you for life.
Belgian food was so good, but you have to be really careful or else you're really gonna gain a lot of weight because they double fry their French fries and they're so good, and they have all sorts of like special sauces, and so you can go up to like they have friteries, and they just only sell fries, but they're so good and it's so hard to just walk past them. But there's fries and there's lots of kebabs all over, which is like shawarma, I guess we call it in the US. Anyway, it's like food from Turkey, and they have all sorts of waffle things. So like instead of having an ice cream truck, they have a waffle truck, which you can put ice cream on your waffle. You can put like sauce or chocolate syrup or like strawberry banana whipped cream, ice cream, all sorts of stuff like that. So when I think of Belgium, I think of waffles and fries. They're so good. And chocolate, of course. Chocolate. So good in Belgium.
I felt like the food is pretty distinct between France and Belgium, maybe just the food that the missionaries eat. Of course, in Belgium, that's the birthplace of French fries, frites. That's the birthplace of the waffle, like the real waffle. And in France, the bread is just incredible. If you're lucky enough to serve in Liège, you're going to have that's the place where the original waffle comes. It's called the Liège gaufre, and they heat it up. It's thick waffle. Like you've never had a waffle this thick. You've never had a waffle this hard. They heat it up. They poke holes in it, and then they put chocolate inside. And so you're eating this waffle, and there's just chocolate inside, and there's little like sugar crystals in there. And you can have chocolate, you can have honey, you can have cinnamon. And I remember maybe having more than one on a day. You know, it's like, we've been contacting for like 2 hours. It's time to get another waffle. It's just so great. There's waffle places in Belgium on every corner. There's frite stands in every corner in France and Belgium. And I think the biggest adjustment, one thing that I wasn't expecting, was the kebab culture in France. the Turkish kebab has just taken over France. People love it. People love it in Belgium. The first time you look inside a kebab restaurant, you're just going to think, no, I don't think I should go in there. No, that doesn't look like I'd be welcome there. But you walk in and they have, I'd never seen one of these before, but it's just a big hunk of meat turning in front of heaters. And I just thought, the first time I saw it, I'm like, I'll have the chicken. Tell her I want chicken. And they have these little shaver things, and you shave off the meat and you kind of heat it up more. And I asked for chicken, and apparently there was some chicken in that meat, because that's what I got in my kebab. In Belgium, they have what's called a mitraillette. In French, that's called a machine gun. And when you see it, it's a machine gun. It's a French baguette, just huge. It's a French baguette with the kebab meat, which I have no idea what kind of meat it is. We don't ask. But it's delicious, and with lots of different vegetables on top. And they have hundreds of different sauces. They have so many different kinds of sauces that you've never tasted before, and you can put that on top. And then on top of all that, they put a ton of frites, a ton of French fries. And you think, the first time I saw one, I thought, I could never eat that. That's huge. Like, there's more fries on that than like a supersized French fry. And they're these thick steak fries. They're so good. And honestly, like, I just remember my first night watching the sister eat one, and I thought, no, I can never eat one of those. They're too big. And it became such like a ritual. You eat one like at least once a week. Like, if not on P Day, then if you're having a rough day, you go into the kebab shop and grab one. In France, the bread is just incredible. The French people use different flour, and so their bread is lighter. And so you see people with tons of baguettes. They take 5 or 6 long baguettes, and they'll carry them under their arm, and they'll get that every single day. They'll buy it fresh. In France, there's a bakery on each corner. There's patisseries on each corner, and it's so delicious. All the bread, all the pastries, and it's so delicious. So many different kinds that you've never had before. So many different tastes, and such a different texture, and such a different kind of consistency than American pastries.
In Belgium, so the food is pretty much the same, but the way they eat is they eat more meat, at least from what I noticed. So in France, they eat like super healthy, like they have a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, and then a little bit of meat. But then in Belgium, they're kind of more American with the kind of stuff they eat, like sausages, like beef. There's this thing up in Belgium called a mitraillette, means machine gun in French, and it's basically a baguette sandwich, and then it's just packed with meat, and then they put fries in it, and then they put sauce, and it's huge. It's like this big, and so I mean that kind of gives you an idea of like kind of stuff they eat. I remember so I served in a city called Namur in Belgium, and the bishop just loved barbecue and sausages, and so like he'd often invite us over there just to go eat sausage, because I guess it makes sense, it's close to Germany. So a kebab is sent from heaven. It's like a little sandwich. It's kind of like I think they call them heroes. It's like Greek, but they basically have like this machine. It's like on a pole, and they have meat on it, and it like turns, and then it's like a heater thing that keeps it warm. They shave off the meat, and they put it in this sandwich. They have those like tomatoes, lettuce, onions, and the meat, you got to get chicken. That's the best one in my opinion. You can get beef, but I don't know what's in it. But the chicken one is safe as far as I know. And yeah, it's just basically like a hero, I guess. But I think it's more greasier. And then you have fries on the side. Super good as well. A mitraillette is basically a kebab with fries in it and bigger. Cheese. Oh, I love the cheese. I remember at first my trainer, so he was finishing his mission when he trained me. So he already had like a good love for the cheese, and he understood like how to eat it. And I remember when I'd watch him eat it, he'd have a piece of bread like this big, and then like a piece of cheese like almost the same size, like, and fat too on top. So there's more cheese than bread, and he would just eat it. But me, I had to have like this much cheese and like that much bread, because I just didn't have the taste for it yet. But like now, I could just cut off the cheese and just eat it like that. Like, I don't know what makes it so good, but it's like an acquired taste, I guess. But there's like, so for when you go, in the future, start off with like Président, or like a brie type of cheese. Those are really like easy cheeses. They're not stinky or anything like that. And then you move your way up, and then you'll like it.
So the French people, when they make a meal, they can sit down at the table for 3 to 4 hours without thinking twice about it. For them, they're very slow eaters. They like to talk when they eat. It's basically the social aspect of their life is around the dinner table. And so their average course meal is about a 4-course meal, something like that, 3 to 4 courses. You start out with a salad, and then you go to some kind of other appetizer, or sorry, reverse that. So you have some kind of crackers or appetizer before, then you have the salad, then you have the main meal, then you have dessert. Actually, sorry, you have the cheese and then the dessert. That's how it usually works. And cheese is a huge part of their culture as well. They have over 350 different kinds of cheeses in France alone. Where Belgium, on the other hand, they are known for their fries. Their frites is the best thing ever, by the way. And it's really, I guess you could say it's cool to see the difference, just because like Belgium, they have certain holidays. Like there was this one holiday when I went on exchange up in Liège. They had a holiday where they just had free beer for anybody, and so everybody was drunk in the streets, and it's kind of crazy. But it's just it's a mix between. I almost feel like it's a mix between German and French culture, just kind of button heads all the time, where you have a lot of. I don't want to say like. I don't want to say like dirty foods, like greasy kind of foods. Yeah, like street foods, I guess you could say. In Belgium and in France, you have it's a lot more, I guess you could say it's a lot more proper in a sense. It's kind of weird to say it that way, but that's kind of the only way I'm going to be able to describe it like that.